I am dead serious. I think that these rules that we're talking about today, like I said, were all facts because there's like one or two that are like, I want to follow, right? But there are some that I think are really influential, and that if I was making my life decisions, I would base them off of these rules.
This has got to be a joke. This has
This
got
is
to be
not a joke.
Welcome back to Filling You In. I'm Coco, and with me is my co-host Subash. And today we've got a great episode for you. Today we're going to be discussing, I think they're called like the 12 rules to success or something like that. Subash will explain more.
So basically, I was on my Instagram Explore page, and I saw this post, and it had all these 12 rules to success. I sent it to Coco with the caption on Instagram, all facts. Coco replied, I disagree. And I sent him an example from like the thing. I'm like, how do you disagree with these? He's like, I disagree with all of them. And here's where we are. I was like, this he was actually, you were like, this would be a good podcast episode. And I think we both just agreed it's a good thing to talk about. If you guys do want to see these rules of success while you're watching the episode or before you watch the episode, we'll drop all of them down below in a list so you guys can see them just in case you forget what we're talking about. But other than that, yeah. And also, guys, if my voice sounds a little bit scratchy, I caught some allergies today. I'm totally fine. I just sound a little bit different, but hopefully it's not that big of a problem. I apologize in advance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's just hop right in. These are your rules that you like. You like a lot. So I mean, let's just go because I mean, I don't like.
There are some I disagree with.
Dude, every single one I disagree with.
Oh, okay. We'll start with rule number 1. The first rule I saw, and also, guys, the original post had quite a few inappropriate words in it due to the nature of the podcast.
There were swear words and yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Every single one. So I've censored them. So if they sound a little bit weird, that's why. Anyway, the first rule that we read was do the work, don't be lazy. What is your response to that first rule?
Well, I want to hear why you think it's like so like factual.
Well, I think it's factual because it's like I feel like that was something I struggled with personally. It's like I just like, especially in school, I wouldn't do my work, and I was just like, in my brain now that I think about it, it's like I should have just done it. Like just do it. Like being lazy isn't gonna get it done. I don't know. I just feel like to success, it's like just you got to get things done. Like if you want to be successful in any medium of life. What do you think?
I mean, I think the problem with pretty much all these rules, though, is that there's like no reasoning behind it. That's why I dislike it. I mean, so by saying like do the work, don't be lazy. I mean, it's kind of like saying, okay, this is like super. It's totally not the same actually, but I mean, it's kind of like saying, don't be poor, go make some money. Like what?
Nah, it is nothing like that. Those are two total opposites.
Okay, how?
So saying don't be poor, go be rich. That is something that you were and to become something. This is saying do the work and don't be lazy. Go take initiative and stop being lazy, or don't be lazy. Saying go be rich, don't be poor or stop being rich and go be poor is a totally different analogy that I think does not compare to this.
It sounds exactly the same. It's like, dude, if someone told me like do the work, don't be lazy, and then they told me don't be poor, go be rich, I'd be like, it's pretty much the same thing. There's no reasoning behind it. I mean, when I read these rules, pretty much all of them, I'm like, I don't know if I don't agree with the message behind it. I definitely agree with the message behind it, but just the way they put it is terrible. These rules,
I can definitely
the way
agree
they're written
with that.
are terrible.
But I think at the same time, it's up to you to interpret how you exercise these rules in the real world. Like obviously the rules aren't meant to like I just don't think when the writer wrote these rules, I don't think they like wrote every individual like this is what they mean. This is what everything means. Like I think it's up to you to determine how to interpret it and how you think the rule, like what it means
to you. I mean, I guess, yeah, sure. That kind of makes sense. But here's the thing, like nowadays with all these like social media gurus and stuff like that, with all these guys, telling you all these different rules of success and like what you need to do to succeed and be motivated and things like that. I mean, the problem is, well, I see it as a problem. I don't know if it's really a problem. It's just a problem to me is that people aren't able to differentiate like who's right. We'll get all these different motivational things from, a whole bunch of different people. And then, they'll just go off of that, but they're not like adjusting it to change to like them. Because I mean, the rules, like you can give some general rules and things like that, like work hard and things like that, stay motivated, just basic things. And I mean, sure, it'll make sense because they're general. But I mean, I don't know, just the problem nowadays
Yeah.
is you're not able to, you're kind of like too reliant on listening to what these other guys are saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. Having mentors and people that you listen to, that's super totally fine. It's better than finding, it's fantastic if you have people that you can look up to and ask questions to and things like that. But I mean, when you just take everything they say to heart and you're not able to do some thinking for yourself, then that's where it gets, that's where you get into a problem when, you're thinking like, how do I do this? And you have to go revert to someone else's rules because you're too reliant on other people's thought process. You want to go into, well,
Yeah.
why did you think rule 1 was like facts?
I just think it's facts because it's like just stop being like lazy because being lazy doesn't fix anything. Do the work.
Yeah, but
I
like what? Is someone okay? So let's just pretend you're lazy, right? And right now, during the beginning of the year, I'm super lazy right now, at least when it comes to school. And if someone were to just come up to me and tell me, don't be lazy, what? I mean, that's not going to motivate me to
Yeah, I
change
think
anything.
yeah, that's not motivating.
This is not
But
going
I
to
think
motivate me to do
this
anything.
isn't
None of these
these
rules.
rules I don't think are meant to motivate you though. These rules are meant to like just give you a guideline of how to live life.
So, I mean, if these rules were like instilled in me from like age 0, 0 to now, I mean, then okay, maybe that makes sense. But like, I don't know. Like, let's just see this from like someone's point of view, right? So I'm lazy. I'm going to school. I don't want to do schoolwork. And then the teacher says, or like someone comes up to me and gives me these rules. And the first rule on says, don't be lazy, like do the work. That's not going to make me change anything.
Yeah.
Like, why would that change me to do anything? And I mean, I think the thing is, these rules are good because it kind of points you in the right direction, but ultimately, they're not written well. These rules are not written well. I agree with the whole message behind them. Like you should work hard and things like that. But I mean, these rules
Yeah.
are written poorly. I mean, there's no reasoning behind it. It doesn't motivate me at all. And seriously, I mean, yes, probably okay. I probably shouldn't have used that analogy in the beginning about, like if you're poor, just be rich. But it's kind of the same thing. There's like no, it's like what? Like, how is that going to make me change anything at all? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You want to go into rule 2?
Yeah. Rule number 2 is stop waiting. It's time. My interpretation of this rule is like if you have something that you want to do and that you want to take action on, and I think, or how about example, this podcast, we wanted to do this, but like waiting, there are different reasons you should wait, and this is one that honestly for me is a little bit debatable too. But I think it's like jump in, get things started, and like chase your dreams or a goal now. I mean, what do you think about this one? Because I definitely have some
Okay.
interesting
Okay.
opinions on this one.
So when you read it, were you motivated to do it? Just do it?
Well, again, like I said, bro, I don't think these are meant to motivate you. These rules are meant to like when you're thinking about doing things, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
I mean, so that, yes, okay, that point kind of makes sense. But then
I don't
again,
think these
like,
are not motivational quotes. These are like these are things that should be guideline for you when you're trying to achieve success. These rules that we're sharing right now.
rules are meant to break. I mean, I don't know.
Well, what do you think? Let's just stop talking about the rules themselves. I mean, the overall rules. What do you think
Well,
about this
I mean,
specific one?
we kind of got to get an understanding of like what we're going against. Because if I'm looking at these from like a stance of these things are supposed to motivate me and they're not, when in reality it's just like a framework, then I mean,
It is. I don't think it is. I think it is I perceive it as a framework. These are rules, not motivational quotes, in my personal opinion.
so how does that work then? Like, explain that.
Like rules, like
So how would you
when you
use these in real
like
life though?
when you're walking through a pool, like you see, don't run, like don't run on the deck.
No. Okay, but that makes sense. Like those rules are like they make logical sense. Like how would you use any of these rules in like real life?
Well, I think of like a situation I'm currently in, and I like would look at these rules and see which ones my situation would apply to, and based on that framework that I'm looking at through the rules, I can see, oh wait, hey, should I still be waiting to achieve this specific goal? Should I am I not working? Like I should start working on this and stop being lazy because this specific rule in this built framework is saying that, I should go be working. I should stop being lazy. It's not meant to motivate me, but when I'm thinking of the things that successful people do and things that drive success, these rules are telling me that what they are saying will help me be successful.
But let's not talk about hypotheticals because I mean,
That's not a hypothetical. That's a
let's
real
let's
world.
get a real situation going where like you've actually used these rules.
Okay, go.
No, I'm asking you because I don't
You're
agree with
asking
any of
me?
these.
All right, let's do it. Let's do the podcast then. Let's do this
Okay,
podcast.
all right.
All right, we're starting the podcast. It's currently June, right? We officiated our logo on June 9th. June 9th is when we officiated our logo. Episode 1 released July 9th. Between June 1st and July 9th is literally when we came up with the concept for the whole podcast. Don't want to go too far into it because we have a whole episode on this. But that's just for this idea. Let's say June 2nd, right? I'm thinking about doing this podcast. I'm sitting in my room, like this podcast seems like such an amazing idea. This would be super dope. I I look at these rules of success. I see them on my Instagram Explore page. Wow, it's telling me, stop, bro. It's telling me I should start working and get started on this project. Am I being lazy right now? No. But yes, maybe, possibly. I need to start doing this now. I need to start getting started on this. I want to run a successful project, start a successful project, and have a successful outcome. These rules here are supposedly telling me that if I live my life and perform under these guidelines, I will be successful. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So
No,
now let's
because
apply the podcast.
hold
Bro!
up,
Bro!
because I'm gonna explain something to you. We didn't we don't follow any rules. When we're doing this
We
podcast,
don't.
we
I
don't
am,
follow any
bro.
rules.
You
We have
asked me
no
to
mo-
apply an
we have
example.
how about something like now after you've seen these rules, like wow, these rules have really changed my life just reading them. So, today when I'm determining whether to wake up or not, do the work. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna
Bro.
write a couple scripts. I'm gonna write some topics down about
Okay.
what I'm gonna go record some episodes like that. Not like
Yeah.
because this podcast, we didn't have these rules. We don't follow any rules.
We don't follow any rules. I'm saying in the position that you're looking on Instagram and you see these rules of success, and let's say I printed them out and I threw them on
Do
my
it.
wall.
Do it.
I don't have
Do
a
it.
printer. My printer's broken. Point is, let's say I did that, right? And I put them
Yeah.
here, and every morning I live my life by those rules,
Okay.
right? Those rules are saying that I would be successful. And if I made my decisions and they were influenced based on said rules, right?
Okay.
I would be said successful. If I live life by said rules, if I based all my decisions on said rules.
I mean, okay. So by calling it like the 12 rules to success, you also have a controversial like word in there, which is success, because that's subjective. And
Success
so
can be measured in multiple mediums of measurement.
yeah,
Happiness,
so
lucrative.
if you're calling these rules the 12 standard rules, pretty much 12 rules to success, what if I
Yeah.
just don't like to do work, right? What if I like to go and hang out at the beach all day? That's not work. So
Well, I
to me,
think it can be
that
applied
wouldn't
also to
apply.
relationships. This could be applied to relationships. This could be applied to your social life. This could be applied to your Instagram clout. This could be applied to everything in life. No. Listen, right? Don't do the work, right? Stop being lazy. If you're trying to hit 2K on Instagram by tonight,
Oh,
you're gonna
God.
go onto my following and follow everybody I follow, get everybody to follow you back, right? That's like stop being lazy, do it, get those followers. You have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you really want to invest your time in that relationship. Stop wasting your time. If there's a girl out there that you like or a guy out there that you like, ask them,
This is
bro.
so funny. I
Ask
want to
them
be
out.
honest. I'll
No,
be
no, no,
honest.
no, no. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. If there is a boy or a girl out there, stop wasting your time. Apply stuff. This can be applied to everything. Like you said, success can be measured in different mediums of levels.
No, I called it subjective, which means that my
Yes,
definition is different than yours. That's different than
correct.
levels. Now, let me ask you a question, straight up.
Straight up.
After, would you put these rules on your wall? Would you put these rules
Yes,
on your wall?
yes. I
Print it
would
out.
paint them. I would paint them here. Oh, here, I would paint them, bro. And because I agree with these rules because they guideline. They seem like
I can't tell if you're actually
guidelines.
serious or if you're
I'm
joking.
serious. I am dead serious. I am dead serious. I think that these rules that we're talking about today, like I said, were all facts because there's like one or two that are like, I want to follow, right? But there are some that I think are really influential and that if I was making my life decisions, I would base them off of these rules.
This has got to be a joke. This has
This
got
is
to be a
not a
joke.
joke. I like these rules a lot, which is why I sent them to you.
So what you're telling me is that from now on, you're going to like, okay, what color shoes should
No.
I buy? Okay, let me see. Do
Stop.
the work. Put in the time. Like you're gonna be doing that?
Yeah, facts. I'm gonna do that when I wake up in the morning or driving
I
to
looked at the
school.
rules once. I don't think I even read all of them, and I thought the way they are written is terrible.
Let's move on to the next one because I think it's gonna tie into what we're talking about. Let's just get on to the next rule.
All right,
And
let's
the
do it.
next, let's do it. The next rule
Yeah.
is rely on yourself. The universe doesn't care. This is one of the ones I completely
I
disagree with.
completely disagree with that.
I believe in manifestation, karma, those types of things. I believe that not just that, but I also think you don't need to rely on yourself because like this podcast, we're a team. We're a team.
Yeah.
We're not doing this. Oh, so we have our independent responsibilities, but in every medium of life, I think you're not alone in that sense. Like you also have people around you to like collaborate on everything. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think that rule is probably the top something, whatever. Top something rules,
Bad.
stupidest rules ever.
I
mean,
agree.
What? Let's just get something straight. Nothing great has ever been done by just one person. Let's just be real. Okay, maybe God. I don't know if you believe in that. Like if audience.
I mean, okay, and no general human achievement.
Yeah.
Like with the exception of a higher being. I'm talking about a real human present
Yeah.
entity.
And I totally agree. I know we both agree with that whole like their like karma and things like that because this podcast was manifestation.
Yeah.
And
No,
I mean,
we'll
we're
save
gonna
it, bro. We
get,
gotta
we're gonna
save it
get
because we
more
have
into
crazy
it
stories.
in episode 25.
Again, episode 25. We tease this every single episode, but it'll be crazy. But I mean, yeah, I think this podcast in itself is a manifestation. Me being at the school I am was a complete manifestation because I'd been thinking about it since I was literally a little kid.
I mean, it's a real thing. Like
It's a real thing.
I'll be
It's
honest, I
very,
was
very
hesitant at
real.
first, but manifestation is a real thing. That rule is complete
Yeah.
bogus. I don't, dude.
Bogus
Here's the
alert.
thing where I'm like, does the person who wrote this like actually believe like is this how they wrote it?
Yeah,
Did
would
they
they follow?
actually write these rules like this,
Would
or
they
are they
practice
just
what they
shortened?
preach? Yeah.
Or are
I
they
don't
just
know.
shortened? Because if so, let's get you on the
Again, it's an
podcast and let's talk
Instagram
about it.
post.
Let's get you on the
Yeah.
podcast and let's talk about it. Because what?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. The next rule.
Yeah. The
You
next
want to get
you want
into
it? I can read it. The next rule is excuse me. Be practical. Success is not a theory. I think success is not a theory in the sense that there's no one given way to success. I think these rules aren't a roadmap, but they're like MPG characters in a video game that like give you like text and you stop on the side of the road
what
and
is
talk to them.
MPG?
I don't know. It's just I don't think that's the right abbreviation for it, but it's like
What?
characters in a game that you stop and talk to, and they have like a conversation with you. I think that that's what these rules are. Wait, stop. I think that that's what these rules are because like they are again guidances. I don't think they're a roadmap. I Do you believe success is a theory though? What do you think about this
No,
rule?
no. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
let's be. Well, what is it? Be
Practical.
practical. Success is
Practical.
not a theory. I mean, I don't agree with any of these. Okay, I don't agree with any of them. I don't agree with how they're written. I don't agree with the whole list. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know if that's just me seeing it from more of a like these things don't motivate me to do anything stance.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just looking at this entirely wrong. But none of these rules I'm ever gonna like think about and be like, oh yeah, oh, do the work, don't be lazy, check, like I'm not gonna be doing that. None of these rules to me make sense. Be practical, okay. But then if we were practical, then you wouldn't be doing things out of the ordinary, out of the blue. If you're practical, you think you make logical decisions and you don't ever bet on yourself and think, okay, there's something greater I could be doing out there, or this thing could be better than it is, just because you're thinking from that practical standpoint, then nothing would improve. I mean, if Steve Jobs never thought practically and was like, okay, I'm just going to create another flip phone or whatever it is, BlackBerry competitor, something like that, and not revolutionize the smartphone industry, then I mean, we wouldn't have iPhones. We wouldn't have a lot of the tech we have today. And so, I mean, that whole idea about being practical, okay, in some sense, in most situations, you probably should be practical. But I mean, not like there are other times where you just have to be completely unpractical. Hopefully that's the antonym. But yeah.
The next one that I think we should talk about, we'll list all of them down below, but we're gonna skip to like some of the better ones. And it's don't waste energy on things you can't control. I agree. I am a ride or die for this one. And this is one
My
that when I was,
God.
bro, leave me alone. All right. Listen, right? This is something that like all the time, and that's just me being an overthinker because I am an overthinker. I think about things and worry about things that have nothing to do with me in the sense that I can control. Like I now very recently, in fact, have been thinking in the orientation that I can't control things and they're not worth worrying about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, the surf's gonna be high today. That sucks. The tsunami's gonna come and crash into my home and everyone's gonna die. I'm not worried about that because I can't control it. I can only control what I can do. I don't know if that really made any sense. Like, what do you think? What do you think?
I mean, I think this is probably the only rule I sort of agree with, but then again, I mean, what?
What? What?
Like, what?
We'll talk about what you think about this one. What do you think about this specific rule?
I think I just have a problem with rules. Or just sorry, not
Bro,
rules, but these
talk about
rules.
this specific thing. I
I just
get
don't
it.
like these rules. I hate that they're
Okay.
trying to. Okay, hold up.
Okay.
They say be practical. Success is not a theory. Yet they
Bro,
have a
this is
list that's supposed to
bro,
tell you
talk on this one.
12
I want to hear what
rules
you think
of
on this one.
success. It's not a theory, but check out our rules.
Dog, what
Think
do you
about
think
that.
about this
Think about
specific
that.
one? Can you please answer, bro? What do you think about this specific one?
I mean, oh God, which one was it? It
Don't
says
waste your
don't waste
energy on things you
energy.
can't control.
I mean, this would probably be the only one I can agree with. But seriously, these rules are just they're just so out of whack. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like any of them. And I mean, this would be the top one. But even this one, I'm not gonna go out and
Yeah.
follow it. None of these rules I'm gonna go out and follow. I mean, you can set up as many rules as you want on like my bedroom walls, but whether or not I'm gonna like listen to them is a way different thing. I mean, I think
Yeah.
the problem is I don't believe any of these things. I don't believe anything that these rules are saying, or at least the way they're put. I mean, I believe the messages behind them, but just not it. There's just a strong disconnect between the way they're written and what they're trying to say. And so I don't know.
I
What
can I
what's
can
the
somewhat agree with that.
what's the next
Um,
thing?
the next one I think that's good is and this one I think you're gonna have this one you have to agree on because it would not make sense if you didn't. Stop making excuses. It's embarrassing.
I don't know. That one's tricky because it's like
But you also made a whole speech on it.
that is true. just the way these things are written. Like,
Bro, why do you always have to? Bro, why can't you just talk on the specific rule? Talk on the
okay,
rule.
okay, I'll focus on this one. Stop making excuses. It's embarrassing. Okay, so what? I mean, that
Do you think
I'm not
making
gonna be.
excuses? Do you think making excuses is a barrier to success?
Yeah, yes, I do. But then again, I'm not gonna follow this rule.
All right, so the last and the final rule that we want to talk on today is and the one that we feel is worth talking about
No,
is
you
I
feel.
okay is stop doing the same thing and hoping things will change. I definitely agree with this. I can relate this to algebra and variables, so actually more science and biology. It's like if in biology, if you are doing an experiment, the experiment, you change a variable every time you run the experiment, right? To see a different result, to see if like, right? Like the point is, it's like, let's say, will watering a plant with orange juice change the result versus watering it with Coke? The variable in that situation is what you're watering it with. You change it every single time. What happens if you water 5 plants with Coke? You're gonna probably have the same result. The same 5 plants with the same 5 Cokes, right? You're gonna have the same result. This is like saying, stop wishing that there'll be change if you're doing the same thing every single time. Stop wishing that your plant is going to grow taller if you keep watering it with Coke every single time. Maybe try orange juice. This can be applied to life, which is what I think this quote is saying. What do you think?
Thank you for asking. I agree with this one. I agree with the message behind this one. Stop doing the same thing. And the way you explain it is good. But I mean, it brings me back to my point, which is I'm not going to be looking at any of these rules and applying them to like trying to see if my life decisions or just decisions in life are going to change because of them. And I mean, I think that's the whole point behind it, which is, 12 rules to success. You should be reading these rules when trying to make, trying to become successful, whatever that may look like. I disagree. I don't like any of these rules. I agree with the message behind some of them.
Really? Because you haven't said that yet.
Wow.
Really? You haven't said that yet.
Good one, good one, good
This
one.
is new. This is new information.
No, but
Go
seriously,
on.
I'm just trying
Go
to give some
on.
closing thoughts here, man. Leave me alone.
Go
No, like
on. I
seriously,
value
are
your
you
opinion.
are you seriously gonna put these on your
Yeah,
wall?
I would if someone gave me a big banner with these rules, I'd put them on my wall.
I
I,
mean, if you gave me a big like poster with these rules, I would roll it up, stick it in a closet somewhere, and then forget about it because they're not good. These rules, I don't want to live my life by them. Um, they contradict themselves. They're rules that contradict like what it's saying. It's like, okay, I know I already got into this, so I'm not going to get into it again. But I mean, seriously, read these rules in the description below and tell me if you tell us in the comments if you agree with any of these. I don't know if it's just I don't like the way these are written, but I mean, I don't like
listen,
any of them.
back to the rule. Instead of you talking about the overall rules every single time I ask you a
Yeah,
question,
yeah.
I'm gonna answer your question for you
Go
and
ahead,
with my response. And
please.
I'm saying, I agree with this one. I think definitely if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and hope for a different result, you're obviously not gonna get a different result. Um, Sometimes in order to achieve a successful outcome, you have to switch things up, which can result in failure. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty debatable. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, these are not going on my wall.
Anyway, that's the end of today's episode. I actually liked it. I think we had a very valuable discussion because I've been waiting to have this discussion with you after I've sent the post. If you guys are over on YouTube,
Unsend it.
drop us. If you guys are over on YouTube, drop a subscribe and comment down below what you agree with and everything you disagreed with, which is mostly Coco's opinions. And if you guys are on Apple Podcasts, write a review, 5-star review, please. If you don't, it'll be sad. Write something nice. We'll read
If
it
you
and
don't,
see it.
just don't leave a review.
Yeah, facts. Facts, 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 facts. Instagram, you can find us at FYI podcast _. Coco has his notifications on for those DMs, so you can send all of your hate towards his opinions there as well.
Do it.
Uh, Other than that, We appreciate you guys for listening in today.
Yeah, so I mean, normally I'm supposed to say just a short blurb at the end, but yeah, obviously we have super different opinions on these things. These rules, they suck. Let's just be real, these rules, they suck. Um with that being said, thank you for letting us fill you in. Leave leave some slander for Subash in the comments below, and we will see you
Hello.
in the next episode.